Hi, my name is Ken Lasseson. I wrote the Microbiome prescription website and maintain the data, etc. I've added a new enhancement today, which I want to just do a quick walkthrough for anybody who's interested. If you go up underneath lookup, you will see the variety of things, and I'm going to walk through some of the things dealing with probiotics. I changed the name from commercial to retail, and this first page is one which lists all of the probiotics by species, which is the more general name. And then down below we have things by explicit strain where there is research on them. In order to be listed here, this strain, which must appear in some retail probiotics, must be studied and have a study published on it, which is the explicit strain. Picking by strain is by far the highest quality items we have. Up the top we have strictly the name of a probiotic species, and over here is how many different probiotics, retail probiotics products that has. As you see, we have 111, and then we have 11. So if we click on something like 11, we'll go over and we see the 11 of them listed here, and we can go and sort by species in it. And in this case, we find that there is one product which has exactly one and only one. In other words, the only thing in it is this particular species. If we can go and just click it, and we'll see that's it. That's the only item it has in it. Now, other items like we have, let's do global heating. It says 24. If we go over here, we see this particular product has 24 in it. Why would you want to have one instead of 24? The reason is very simple. With one, you know exactly what's happening. It is a very controlled case. When you have 24 in it, some of the things could be pushing some bacteria in the wrong direction or the right direction. So if you are trying to do a specific targeted adjustment, having 24 is creating a massive amount of noise and side effects, which may put you in a worse case than just being a singleton. So that is the item here. Impact information. If you go over here and click here, that will take you over and give you any information which we have about it. We have information about it changing some other bacteria. Some cases the list would be long, other cases it would be very short. And also over here again you have source studies. You can click Q and find, like this case, you see it that particular item was subject to study, and voila, you can go over and read the article. Okay, let's go back a couple pages. Okay, let's go back a couple of pages. And there we have there. Now we can also, let's go down. Let's do something like Plantarum. See the magic work. Now, what we have actually is we have Plantarum, then we have a particular species of it. And the species of it is because it's such a common one, and the bottles are labeled with most bottles probiotics. We just have Plantarum and not the species. A few of them has that one, and we have 69 that simply says Plantarum. We have 3 that actually says the specific one. So if we click here, we see where the 3 of the bacteria which has it. One of which it's the only one. Only has one bacteria in it. Again, generally the preferred. Another one which has 2, which is reasonable. You may want to go and take a look at the 2 bacteria, and in this case, Plantarum in Edwards, it actually ends up being a singleton because of the duplication of name. It sometimes happens. there. So we have 2 there. However, when we go down to nature body 10, we find we have 10 listed, and there we have all the different ones listed. So that is not as good a choice. Okay, so that is probiotic by species and strains. Down below we have things which are strain specific. Here, the probiotic must actually name it, and there must be studies of it by the explicit strain. Let's take a look at, for example, up above we looked at Bacillus casei, and we have actually 5 different Bacillus casei, and if we click through, we see that this particular one here, we have 23 studies. Here's one we have only 1 study. Here's we have now only 15. In other words, the megasporic probiotic has a lot of studies than Enterogema. So if you really want to know what the impact is, you probably want to go for one which has a lot of studies. And again, if we click through here, and we go over to the site where it sells it, generally the link will always go to a site which sells it somewhere in the world. May not necessarily be available in your country. You may have to order it from overseas. And the other one is if you click over here and click on the studies, you'll have the studies listed. And I haven't logged in, so I only see the first 5. It says 15 studies there. If I have logged in and still have a premium status, which is always given out as a 60-day trial, then it's there. And now let's go in and take a look at okay, impact information, their bacteria information. If we click here, don't think we have done that. There we have it. We see who reports on it, who doesn't. So if you're taking it and you usually use Biomsite, probably a good suggestion because Biomsite will measure it. If you're using Thrive, there's no way you're going to find out if it's staying around at all because guess what? It doesn't measure it. Down below we have what modifies it, increases and decreases it, etc. So we have, as usual, more data than you know what to do with. Okay, and so we have probiotics containing, and again, let's go into number 1. Here is everyone that has it. And what we have here is the number of species in the product. Again, the same thing as before. You click through and you see all of the ones. For each one in it, you can go and see the impact. And you can also look at information about the bacteria information, which takes you over to the details of it, what the impact is, etc., etc. So it gives you lots of information. Okay, so let's get back to the root page. And what I'm now going to do is step over and do a login. I'm going with the demo account. Demo account always has premium, so you can see what the full feature is. And now we go to click suggested probiotics, which goes down and gives the information. And if you go down here and you click on one of these suggestions, oops, I should have just clicked there. And it takes you over and you can see who measures it and what impacts it. Generally, when you're taking a probiotic, you want to go over here and take a look at what decreases it, because those are things you really don't want to be taking at the same time. Why? Because you basically taking the probiotics and you slapping it back at the same time by the choice of supplement or herbs or food. You want to go over and do things like increase things which are known to increase it. For example, whey is one of the things here, etc. So it gives you information on how to develop a reasonable thinking strategy for the taking probiotics. So I think at that point of time, I'm just about done and just going to do one last check. You will also find that the suggestions no matter which one you do, has been updated so that when you go over and let's just do motor, you have commercial probiotics down there, and now you find that they are hyperlinked. So you can go over and just click here, and actually let's just go directly there. And you can now see this one, which is a avoid. You can take a look at all what's in it, and you realize there are 16 different probiotics on it. Some will have favorable and some will have unfavorable responses in terms of where you work. So that is a slight addition to it. Now I want to also go up, and if you are logged in as premium, you will notice you will also have the option of update or add probiotics. So you should always go and make sure we don't have it already there, and there's a fair number are there. When you do add in a new one, always do it with manufacturer name / and the product name, and then you can go and proceed to edit. For example, I'll go and just do an edit so you can see what the screen looks like. The screen is here, and it is by genus across the top, and you just click whichever one. All ones are in the probiotic. A few of them have the species name, the species is well known, etc., and so forth. So the items here are all from known probiotics. If something is missing, email me and I will add it to the list. So that is the last bit. That is how you can go and update your the list of probiotics to be considered easily from there. Again, if you're just coming in as an ordinary user, you will not, this will be disabled. And if you want to go back to the original way of looking at where you have everything on one screen, which you can search, of course, by looking for a particular word, you can. Okay, that's it.